Hello, and welcome to our channel, where we explore everything and beyond. In this video, I'll be sharing the latest major updates to the End2 experiment. If you're new here and unfamiliar with End2, please visit my channel page for more information. In short, End2 is an experimental project that brings visual drag-and-drop automation to Odoo. The first major update is AI integration. For End2, I decided to adopt the Microsoft Agent Framework to implement AI capabilities. As you may know, AutoGen has transitioned to the Microsoft Agent Framework. Since we previously experimented with AutoGen in Odoo Flow, this change prompted me to migrate End2 as well. Fortunately, even though there are some differences, the migration process was fairly smooth. Here's the result. Just like in Odoo, End2 now supports features such as streaming chat, multimodal inputs, structured outputs, and more, all made possible through the Microsoft Agent Framework. The second update is the new Action module. This module introduces several nodes that provide automation features related to actions and model methods. While the Trigger module allows you to add automation layers to record operations such as creating, editing, and deleting records. The Action module now allows you to extend automation to model methods and server actions. This opens up many possibilities, including solving one of the classic problems in ERP systems: multi-level approval. Before I demonstrate how multi-level approval is implemented with End2, let's briefly discuss what multi-level approval means. In the most basic coding terms, multi-level approval is just checking a series of variables or conditions in steps, and only moving to the next step when the current one is satisfied. In Odoo, this is commonly implemented using a selection field where each option represents an approval stage. When a stage is approved, the field value moves to the next option. Typically, the approval button is restricted using group attributes, so only users with the correct approval level can advance the process. There are more complex variations, but the fundamental principle remains the same. To demonstrate, let's assume we want to add multi-level approval to sales orders. 2 approvals must be completed before a sales order can be confirmed. As shown, my approach is to hide the default form header and replace it with a custom form header until all approval steps are completed. This avoids user confusion, since the default header contains its own buttons and status bar. It also brings clarity. A sales order becomes fully operable only after the approval process is complete. To achieve this in End2, we need to create several graphs. The first graph handles the approval logic. In this graph, we create a custom selection field to store the approval level and add 2 server actions to advance the approval level. We also add a conditional node to check whether all approval levels are satisfied. If all levels are met, we run the intended confirm method. Otherwise, we display a message to the user. A trigger node is added to execute this graph when the sales order confirm method is called. The second graph manages the custom form header. Since there are 2 approval levels, we add 2 form button nodes and 1 status bar node to display the current approval stage. Then we add a header node and connect the previous nodes to it. You might wonder why the first graph still needs the trigger node and conditional node if the original status bar is hidden. The reason is to protect the confirm method in case it is triggered from elsewhere, such as another form or a custom module. The action module also includes a node type that allows one graph to execute another. This lets us create reusable automation. In the sales order approval example, we can move the trigger node into a separate graph and have it run the main approval graph. If we later want to reuse the approval logic for other methods, such as the cancel method, we can simply create another graph with a trigger node and call the same approval graph. And that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and tutorials.